It's FC231 bringing you another collection, and this time I had to back up my camera because this robot is obviously too tall to fit within my standard frame when I do my close-ups on figures. So I had to back him up, and obviously at first glance you all will recognize this robot, and it is the Sentinel. Now, this Sentinel was released in 2006. This one is the Marvel Toybiz Sentinel and stands roughly at 14 inches tall. And I got this guy at a yard sale for cheap. Did I say cheap? I got him at a yard sale, and he is in excellent condition for toys that I saw that were pretty much beat up, cracked, paint wear, but he was the only one that was in good condition, and along with his features, which are still functional, he was a must-have. I grew up with the X-Men cartoons from the early 1990s, and the Sentinels were always my favorite robot. I loved them in the X-Men debut on the Fox network, Night of the Sentinels Part 1, Night of the Sentinels Part 2, and even in later episodes where Master Mode, which was a giant factory Sentinel kind of like a Sentinel look-alike, but way bigger than these guys, and used to produce and make these robots in the series. So here's a closer look at this Sentinel, and you can see his face. What I like about this Sentinel, there was a prior Marvel Toybiz Sentinel released before this one with a total different face and different head sculpt. I did not like that one. This one I like because it looks a lot meaner, and he looks just like the one in the cartoons. And if you forget how the ones in the cartoons look, here I have, just for comparing, X-Men Volume 1 on DVD from the Fox series, and the Sentinels looked just like that. And as you can see, red eyes, red eyes. They even have the shape of the nose done correctly, just like in the cartoon. They even gave the toy that little H type piece in its mouth, just like how they had in the series. The indentation on the cheeks, the indentation on the cheeks. The only difference, though, was that in the series they had a circular oval part here in the chest. The toy has a triangular one. Colors are spot on. Again, the other Marvel Sentinel Toybiz released before this one, the colors were off. Maybe it was based off of another series or a different type, or maybe from a different storyline in the comics, but this one has the Night of the Sentinels coloring on it. There is its belt, his hands, and this is part of one of his features, which I'll get to in a minute. And what I like about this Sentinel is they put a lot of detail in its muscular legs. The paint app is done beautifully on it. As you can see, no scratches or paint wear on this Sentinel. A plus, which is why I got him. And then down to his shoes, or boots, or feet. And there is detail, some circuitry on his shin there, and then he has these little silver plates there with what looks like it's an arrow pointing inward. Again, another feature which I'll show. And then the back, again emphasizing the muscles, the colors. This one has a different shade of coloring on it for some reason. It's a darker, kind of like a darker purple. It's not the same color as the hand there. The muscles, detail on the muscles and everything. There's the back. Now he doesn't have much articulation. Only basic articulation, which I'll show you now, is pretty much on the left and right arms. They swivel. They just go up and down. Same thing on the other hand. Up and down. And the head here can rotate side to side. Everything else is just one solid chunk of plastic. There is no waist articulation, no leg articulation. It's just all one piece. For his features, he has 5 features, which made this a really cool little playset for kids of all ages, especially if they had X-Men figurines. I'll show you in a minute what you can do with one of your X-Men figurines using this Sentinel. His first feature was on his right hand. You see this kind of like a hook here. It's supposed to be his tentacles. The Sentinel had these tentacles that came out in the series and would capture mutants. So what you would do is you can extend his hand, and it's on a pulley string here. You just pull. You would place your X-Men figurine here, and there is a knob underneath his hand here, and you just push it, and it brings the string with the tentacle up. Another feature was his hand here on his left arm would fire right at you. So there's a button on the side here that you would press. And the hand would come flying at a mutant and pretty much render them defenseless there. Another feature was, and then the hand can just go right back into its arm. It's spring loaded. Another feature was for its legs. On its knees here, you have 2 buttons. So pretty much you push the one, and the one foot just went flying out. Push the other one, the other foot went flying out. And this was basically when the mutants would attack the Sentinel's lower leg parts there. You let go of your Sentinel, and he falls forward. And that's how pretty much they destroyed this Sentinel. Now for the Sentinel's 5th feature, I'm going to use this 1993 Cyclops figure, also from Toybiz. And Cyclops here, it looks exactly like in the cartoon series from the early 90s. This was the Jim Lee Cyclops, also from the comic books in the early 90s. This Cyclops came with a mobile cerebral pack, portable handheld gun. I don't know why he came with a gun when Cyclops pretty much can use his optic blast feature there with the push of a button on the back. So let's bring out the Sentinel. And when the Sentinel's head is pushed back, the chest part here comes flying out. And that is to capture and place your X-Men figurines inside its chest. So let's give it a shot and see. Well, for starters, let's take Cyclops' mobile pack off. And the gun as well. So you capture Cyclops, although I doubt Cyclops would let himself get captured. And then the Sentinel places him in its chest area. You grab the chest piece for your Sentinel. And just close it up. And Cyclops has been captured by the Sentinel. And of course, if Cyclops regains consciousness again, he'll optic blast his way out of the Sentinel and aim at its feet, and Sentinel comes crashing down. So there's a lot of imaginative play you can use for this Sentinel and any X-Men figurine as well. I want to thank you folks for taking the time out to see this Sentinel video. If you liked it, please rate, comment, subscribe. And we had a look at the 2006 Marvel Toybiz Sentinel playset. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for other vids.